Alright, it's stream time. I'm excited. I haven't streamed since last month. I remember last month I said, oh, I want to stream some more. And then I just didn't do that, so... Oh well. Let's do this tier list. I'm excited. Excited to jump into the stream, man. I just need to see if I can find the tier list I had last time. MLB teams. No, it's not that one. I want to use the... No. Hold on. There we go. Here we go. Alright, this is it. A presentation, but we're going full screen. Okay. I'm getting a baseball reference on the second monitor. What's up, Retro Baseball? How's it going? Alright. I'm getting baseball reference up on the second monitor. Apparently all these guys got moved out of F tier. Alright, so just for context here. This is the tier list I had at the start of the season. How this is going to work is I'm going to start from the bottom. We're just going to move up the tier list, moving teams around as I move up it from the tier list I started with from the preseason tier list. And we're just going to talk a little bit about each team, you know. I want to keep it mostly brief. I kind of want to try to keep the stream under an hour this time. But I agree tier lists are exciting, yeah. I'm happy to be here. So yeah, we're just going to go. And one thing I should make abundantly clear is these are not power rankings. In my mind, power rankings are like very based on where teams are right now. But these are like overall like season-long rankings, even though I've only seen 1 month. So I don't want to put too much stock into just 1 month of baseball. So like the Twins, if we take the Twins record right now, they're an F-tier team, right? But I don't really think they're going to be an F-tier team going forward, so I'm not going to move them down to F-tier. That's just an example, but like I don't want to put too much stock into the last couple months. Or last 1 month, I guess. Alright, let's just do it. Let's do the damn thing. Alright, let's start with Texas. I do not think Texas has shown me much to say they're not F tier. They haven't been awful. They're 11-15 right now. Kyle Gibson's been good. Has anybody else? Nick Solak and Isaiah Kiner-Falefa have been good. But no, yeah, just the hitting isn't there. The starting pitching depth isn't there. I think Texas is pretty solidly still F tier. I have no qualms moving them out of that. Pittsburgh's actually been okay. They're like hovering around 500 right now, I think. I don't know why I'm saying I think. I can just look it up right now. The Pittsburgh Pirates are 12-12. The hitting's been solid, actually, surprisingly. Jacob Stallings has been good. Colin Moran's been good. Starting pitching, I think, has been pretty bad. I'm not entirely sure on that. JT Brubaker has a 2 ERA, but everybody else has not been that good. Yeah, so Pittsburgh's been decent. They're 500, but it's just not, like... I don't know. I can move them up within F tier, but I don't feel super happy moving them out of F tier. I still think they're like one of the worst teams in the league. I'm going to put them at the top of F tier for now. Okay. Detroit. Detroit is another team where they actually shown some flashes, right? I think at the start of the season they were pretty solid, but they're 8-18 right now. Other than Akil Baddoo, and I guess Nico Goodrum's been hitting as well. I just don't see this team as being all that great. I don't know. They don't have starting pitching depth. Matt Boyd's been solid, but other than that, like, nothing's really happening. I'm pretty happy keeping Detroit in F tier. In fact, I believe their record is worse enough than the Rangers where I'm actually okay moving them below the Rangers right now. Let's see. Colorado, another team where I don't really think any, like, they're an F tier team still. They're losing most of their games. The hitting's been awful, especially considering they're playing in Coors. I don't think anybody really jumping. I guess Ryan McMahon's been pretty good. The pitching's been about as expected, maybe even a little worse. I don't know. They're well below 500 right now. I should just have the standings up on my other monitor, actually, now that I think about it. But, yeah, hang on. They're 9-16. Yeah, they're definitely another F tier team. I'm happy keeping the Rockies there. The Baltimore Orioles. The Orioles, I'm not too high on either. They've shown some flashes too. They're 11-14 right now. They ended the A's win streak. John Means has been great. Cedric Mullins has been great too, I think. But I don't know. It's another situation where, like, to get out of a tier, I'm happy moving teams between the tiers, but to move from one tier to another tier, I feel like teams really have to show something, which I don't really think the Orioles have. I'd be okay moving a little bit above Pittsburgh, but now Pittsburgh's 500. I'm going to keep them below Pittsburgh. So yeah, F tier has no movers, basically. I moved in the middle of the tier a little bit, but they have no movers up to D. All right, let's get some more interesting ones now. Kansas City. Kansas City had the best record in the league for like a couple days. Kansas City's definitely earned the right to move out of D tier. The question is where. If I move them to C or maybe to B. I'm not entirely sure yet. We'll talk it through together. So they're 15-8 right now. Their best players have been Danny Duffy, Michael A. Taylor, and Carlos Santana. I'm trying to think. I can definitely get them out of D for sure. The question is, do I want to move them up to B as well? Because B is the tier where I'm really like, these guys are playoff contenders. And even though Kansas City has the best record in the AL right now, maybe, I don't really view them as long-term playoff contenders. Like, I just don't think it's super... I don't think their success is all that sustainable. Their roster really doesn't excite me. They have, like, not a very good run differential compared to their actual record. Yeah, I don't know. It's just... I think Kansas City has shown enough to get added D tier, but I'm going to keep them in C for now. Where in C? I don't really know. Let's put them in the middle of C tier for now. All right, Miami's another team that has shown some flashes. They're around 500. They're right in the thick of things in their division. What are they? They are 11-13 right now. I don't know. Jez Chisholm has been great. Trevor Rogers has been good. Pablo Lopez. Starting pitching has been solid. I guess Starling Marte has been good as well. But I don't know. They're just a team that, again, to move out of a tier, you need to really kind of show that you deserve, that you're like, it's definitely better than D tier on the long term, which I don't think Miami really has. Maybe they're like a C tier team as of right now from what they've shown, but I don't really see it right now for them to move out of C at least, out of D at least. Seattle's a team I could see moving out of D, actually. I'm pretty impressed from what I've seen from Seattle so far. They're 14-12. The pitching staff's been really solid. Maybe not really solid. They've been good. A lot of bats are performing too. Ty France has been great. Mitch Haniger's been good. Kyle Seager's been about as good as predicted. See, the record is good enough where I do want to move them out of D tier. They're above 500. I don't think above 500 teams should be below C, but I don't know. They really just haven't. It's another situation where I just don't really believe in the roster a whole lot. Even though they're performing decently well right now, I just don't see it. I don't know. I'm going to keep them in. No, I'm going to move them up to the bottom of C tier. I think it's okay. If a team's above 500, they probably should not be in D tier. I think that's probably a good rule of thumb to go by. Every above 500 team should be at least C tier. All right. San Francisco. Here's the interesting one, right? San Francisco is tied for the best record in the league. Their pitching has been outstanding. They're the best pitching staff in baseball right now. Their hitting's been decent enough. They're 16-9. They do have the best record in baseball, I believe. And it's mostly as a starting pitching staff, right? Anthony DeSclafani's been great. Kevin Gausman's been great. Aaron Sanchez has a 2 ERA. Johnny Cueto has a 1.80 ERA. Alex Wood has a 1.5 ERA. Like, the starting pitching staff is just mowing dudes down. Do I think they'll continue to do that? Not really. I don't know. I don't really see it. Definitely a situation of like small sample size, I would say, more than anything else. And the lineup is just so old, dude. They're all so old. Like, they're hitting right now. Buster Posey is hitting 351. But, like, oh, they're all so old. How are they going to hold up after a full season? I don't know. Not a huge buyer on the Giants, to be honest. Even though they do have the best record in the league right now, definitely should move out of D tier, absolutely. The question is, should I move them up into B tier or no? I think the Giants have more chance of long-term success than Kansas City, so I'll keep them above Kansas City. I'll put them at the bottom of B tier right now. I don't really view the Giants as like long-term World Series contenders, but I think they're showing enough this month that they should at least be in the mix going forward. So I'll put them in B tier. I think they are going to be a playoff contender, if not a very good playoff contender. All right. Kind of the opposite of San Francisco is Boston, right? Their hitting is insane. Their offense has, I think, been the best in baseball. I think they have the most runs scored in the league. The pitching staff is just such a question mark, though, right? Like, Anthony Eovaldi's been fine. Nick Pavetta's been good. But, like, even Eduardo Rodriguez is back and pitching well, I guess. But, like, the names in this rotation really do not inspire confidence, you know? It's like, Giants making the wild card. Yeah, I can see that, especially with the start they've had. Yeah, I could definitely see the Giants making the wild card. But especially, like, still, NL isn't super strong looking right now. But, again, I don't see them as real contenders with the Padres and Dodgers for the division, though. All right. So Boston's definitely moving out of D for sure. The question is, do I want to be low C or high C or low B? they've had such a good start. What, they're like 16-10 right now or something? Yeah, 16-10. They've had such a good start that I think they probably deserve to be kind of in the same neighborhood as the Giants. Pretty similar situations where I think they definitely had a good month, no question. They had, a lot of good streak. They had a couple like 3-4 game win streaks, I think. Good series wins. I think in the long term, the Red Sox's pitching is bad enough, or at least bad enough on paper, where I don't think they're going to be huge World Series contenders, but I can see them sneaking into wild cards. But I think their offense has just been that good. But like, I believe in the Giants pitching more than I believe in pitching in general in the long term over hitting. I feel like pitching slumps less than hitting does. So I'm gonna put them in low B tier, a little bit below the Giants. All right, so D tier has one team right now, but I don't know. We'll figure that out. Again, we always resize the tiers at the end of these anyways, so we'll get it all ironed out. All right. The Angels. The Angels are kind of in a weird spot where their pitching has been really bad, which everybody kind of expected. Right now they are in 4th place in their division. They're 12-11, so they are above 500. So I definitely can't justify moving them down a tier, but I don't think they're really showing enough to get out of C tier. Just kind of the mire of mediocre teams. I mean, Mike Trout is as good as he's ever been, right? The hitting's been solid. Jared Walsh has been mashing, which I predicted. Just want to put that one out there. I don't know. They seem about right to me. So somewhere in the middle of C tier. I'll put them like around right here for now, I guess. I don't really know. Okay. Arizona? Arizona's been solid, 13-12. They're sticking. They're in the thick of it in the NL West. Carson Kelly's been great. That's right. Asdrubal Cabrera's been good. That's kind of a surprise. And then Eduardo Escobar's also been solid. Zach Gallen has been better than expected, I would say, considering he's coming right off injury and had a shortened spring training. But yeah, Zach Gallen's been anchoring that rotation. I mean, they're around 500. I'd say C tier is a pretty solid place for them right now. I don't know. Yeah, let's say middle of C tier, a little bit above the Angels. All right, Milwaukee has been very good. Milwaukee's definitely a contender for one of the team to maybe move up into A tier. Right now they are 15-10, top of the Central. Oh God. Ooh. Yeah, I'm a big buyer on Milwaukee. Actually, I kind of underrated them at the start of the season. I feel like looking back in hindsight, their pitching staff is just so great. I don't think I knew Corbin Burns and Brandon Woodruff would be good, but Adrian Hauser and Freddie Peralta have both stepped up so far. Josh Hader's been great as predicted. Devin Williams hasn't been solid, but the rest of the bullpen's kind of picking it up. So yeah, I'm actually a big buyer on the Brewers. I'm gonna put them in the bottom of A tier for now. I think I underrated them at the start of the season, but everything's subject to being moved around. All right, Cincinnati. What, they started the season 8-1 or something, and they went on an 8-game losing streak, and they beat the Dodgers in a series. So I don't really know what's going on in Cincinnati, to be honest. But they're 11-13 right now. I think Cincinnati's offense has been excellent overall, right? Eugenio Suarez has sucked, but Mike Moustakas, Jesse Winker, Nick Castellanos are all mashing. So is Tucker Barnhart. It's just the pitching staff really is the depth in the pitching staff is my problem, right? Tyler Mahle is actually pitching really well right now. He's a 1.7 ERA. Wade Miley's been good as well. Luis Castillo only has a 6 ERA, but I think he's good enough where he can pick it up. And Sonny Gray's also kind of hovering around a 6 ERA. I think the three-headed giant of Mahle, Gray, and Castillo is definitely that of a contender, but I'm not really a big buyer in their depth, and their bullpen's been awful, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, nobody in their bullpen's performed very well. So I don't know. The pitching is the big question mark in my eyes for Cincinnati. I think their hitting core is definitely good enough to compete, but yeah, let's keep the Reds in C tier for right now. I'll put them below some of the teams that are not really playing well. Philadelphia's in this kind of situation in the NL East where all these teams are just cannibalizing each other, right? They're 12-13 in first place right now. The hitting's been good, and everybody expected the hitting to be good. Hoskins, Real Muto are hitting. Harper's hitting as well. He's a 194 OPS plus. I don't know. It's just everybody knew the pitching would be the issue with this team, right? Zach Eflin's pitching well, but other than Nola and Wheeler, who does this team have other than Other than Nolan Wheeler, yeah. The starting staff has been bad outside of those two, and maybe Zach Eflin. The bullpen, Hector Neris has been good at the back end, but it's just they have so little depth in the pen. Archie Bradley is injured right now, so they lost like that kind of back end piece that they needed. I don't know. I'm really not big on the Phillies. I'm thinking about moving them down to D tier, to be honest, but they're hovering right around 500, so I'll keep them in C for now. Yeah, I don't think I can justify having them above some of these teams that have like solid records, though. I'm gonna move the Mariners up in this kind of tier up here, with the like a little below the Royals. Okay, Washington on the other hand, Washington I'm happy moving down to D tier. I have not been impressed by Washington at all. I predicted this team would be like above 500 by the end of the season, but I'm really not seeing it right now. Patrick Corbin's like continued to suck, I'm pretty sure. Max Scherzer's been fine, but outside of that, the starting pitching's been bad. Steven Strasburg's injured. The hitting additions, Josh Bell and Kyle Schwarber have like not helped anything. Juan Soto's been like struggling with injury. He hasn't played too much. So yeah, I'm moving the Nationals into D tier. I'll get a little bit above Miami for right now, but yeah, Nationals are moving down. All right. St. Louis. St. Louis, what are they? They're like around 500, right? They're 13-12. So many teams in the NL are just like hovering around 500. Like it's hard to make these sweeping claims about them when we had this sample size isn't huge. But like Dylan Carlson's been their best player actually, which is kind of surprising. Nolan Arenado hasn't been super great. He's hitting 247. He has a 107 OPS plus. Him and Goldschmidt are both like not performing the level I think they need to kind of lift this offense to the next level. And that was the big question mark with this team, was the offense going into the season. And I thought Nolan Arenado gets added to the team. They're the favorites in the division, but I don't know. The offense has just not been good at all. Yadier Molina has a 323 average, but he's injured right now. Dylan Carlson's been good, but he's not a center fielder. They can't stick him there long term. Yeah, I don't know. Not big on the offense. The pitching's been fine, right? Yeah, Jack Flaherty's a 3 ERA. John Gant's been good. Kwon Kyung Kim has been good. Pitching is solid. Not a huge buyer on the offense. I'm moving them down into C, actually. All right, I'm happy with that placement for now. All right. Next team is the Cubs. The Cubs have been pretty terrible. 11-14. Not terrible, I guess. 11-14 is not terrible, but it's just the offense is so streaky. So many of these. So Chris Bryant's been great. He has a 180 OPS plus, but Jock Peterson sucked. Ian Happ has sucked. David Bodie's not been good. Anthony Rizzo's been fine, but like Javier Baez hasn't been very good either. No, I lied. He has a 112 OPS plus. I lied. Okay. It's just the Cubs' offense is so streaky, and their pitching has just not been good enough to like kind of prop it up, right? Jake Arrieta is their only starter with below a 4 ERA. Craig Kimbrell's been good in the bullpen, but other than that, like it's kind of barren there as well. I don't know. Not big on the Cubs either. I'm moving them down into C tier too. Right below the Cardinals is where the Cubs are going for now. All right, Cleveland. I haven't thought about Cleveland all season. I'm thinking about it actually. Like, okay, Cleveland are 11-12. Shane Bieber and Jose Ramirez have been their best players, which anybody could have predicted. Jose Ramirez is hitting, but outside of them, only like Jordan Luplow and Framil Reyes. Outside of them, nobody else is hitting. In the starting rotation, Shane Bieber and Aaron Savali have been good. Zach Plesac has not been great. Logan Allen is injured. The bullpen looks like pretty solid. I didn't know Brian Shaw was back on the Indians. That's kind of funny. Yeah, I don't know. The offense of Cleveland is just so bad. Like, you look at their baseball reference page, their catcher, first baseman, second baseman, and shortstop are all hitting below 200. Like, I don't know. A team with an offense that bad can't be in the same tier as these other competitive teams. I'm moving them down to C. We're going to have a lot of C tier teams, I'm pretty sure. Maybe I might end up moving the Royals into B tier, actually, since there's so many C tier teams right now, but we'll see. All right. Next team is Oakland. I mean, Oakland just rattled off like 13 straight. Hard to argue against a team that has won 13 straight games, but you have to remember they started with 7 straight losses too. So which team is the real Oakland? I mean, I think they're closer to the 13 straight than they are to the 7 straight losses. Mark Hanna's been raking. Matt Olson's been raking as well. Really, only Matt Chapman has been like a little bit disappointing on offense. I guess Elvis Andrus is also kind of doing nothing. Yeah, this team is definitely positioned for contention. The starting pitching staff has not been super great, but like the bullpen's been so good with Lou Trevino and Yusmeira Petit. JB Wendelken's also been good. The Oakland is just doing what Oakland does. They just find these kind of hidden gem players, and they just work with what they have, and they're just good. I'm moving them up into A tier. Near the top of A tier, I would say. All right. Toronto's been a little disappointing so far, if I'm not mistaken. At 11 and 12, they haven't had George Springer yet. I think he just started playing again, but he's only played one game. A lot of the offensive pieces are being a little disappointing, right? Lourdes Gurriel Jr. has been bad. Kevin Biggio has been bad. Tusker Hernandez is injured and has been bad. Marcus Semion's been okay, but like nothing exciting. I'm okay moving the Blue Jays down for now. Even though I think this is a team that's positioned for success in the future, and like on paper, I love their roster. They haven't shown much yet, and they're 11 and 12. Yeah, I'm moving them down. Where in C tier? I don't know. This is all getting reordered at some point, so we'll work on it, I guess. All right, Houston. Houston's another team that they're 13 and 12 right now, and they had like a horrible losing streak, didn't they? Yeah, from the 21st from the 9th to the 21st, they only won one game. But outside of that big losing streak, that they've been great. I don't know. Let's see. Like, they're third in the AL in runs scored. Their offense has been solid. Their team ERA is fine. The pitching staff has been decent. Christian Javier has a sub-1 ERA in 4 starts. Greinke's been good. Luis Garcia's been good. Jose Urquidy's been okay. Lance McCullers Jr. has been a little disappointing. I'm okay on the pitching staff for Houston. I was a little concerned about the depth they had, but the rookies are kind of stepping up, or the younger guys are stepping up, and their bullpen's solid as well. Ryan Stanek and Ryan Presley have like a good back end of a bullpen there. The offense has been good overall. Outside of like Kyle Tucker, everybody's pretty much hitting as people thought they would, I think. So yeah, I'm okay keeping the Astros in B tier. I think they're fine. Even though they're 13 and 12, I think they're closer to the win streaks than they are to the losing streaks overall. So I'll keep the Astros in B tier. All right, Tampa Bay. Tampa Bay's been a little disappointing as well, actually. They're 13 and 13 right now. Tyler Glasnow is just like mowing people down. Big buyer on Tyler Glasnow. He's a sub-2 ERA right now. Outside of that, the starting's been like, Ryan Yarborough's been okay. Michael Walker's been okay. It's mostly in the bullpen where like Diego Castillo has been like solid at the back end. Ryan Thompson as well. Kind of some question marks in the bullpen depth, which I wasn't expecting from them. But they're just shuffling dudes around until they figure out who's good and who's not this season. And that's just kind of what the Rays do. What's up, Carlos? Appreciate you stopping by. That's just kind of what the Rays do for the first month of the season. They kind of shuffle guys around, see who's hitting well, who's not, who's pitching well, who's not, and that's how they kind of go from there. I'm not worried about the Rays. They're only 500 right now. I'll put them at the bottom of B tier for now, but like I'm pretty unconcerned about them overall. All right, the Mets is our first team that started in A tier. Let's see, they're 9 and 10 right now, so not great. Definitely not what you want. But Jacob deGrom is just destroying people. He's probably the best pitcher in the league, if I'm not mistaken, so far. Brandon Nimmo has been raking. J.D. Davis as well. Pete Alonso's been solid, but outside of those three, the offense has been pretty quiet. Jeff McNeil's underperforming. Francisco Lindor's been not very good. Dom Smith isn't hitting at all. So yeah, the offense has a little bit of concerns there in the offense. But I don't know. I think the Mets just on paper are good enough where you shouldn't have to worry too much. They're only 19 games into the season, and their starting pitching has been great actually. Jacob deGrom, Marcus Stroman, and Taijuan Walker have all been excellent. The bullpen's surprisingly good too. Edwin Diaz and Trevor May have been great additions. Urias Familia has been fine so far. Aaron Loup has a 0 ERA in only 4 innings, but whatever. Yeah, I think the Mets are in a fine spot right now. They're 9 and 10. I'll move them down into B tier just they're under 500, but like don't be concerned about the Mets. The team you can be concerned about is Minnesota, I would say. I think they have the worst record in the... No, the Tigers are 8 and 18, but Minnesota's the second worst record in the league. Their bats haven't really been performing up to par. Their starting pitching's kind of imploding. Like, that's a lie, actually. Just Kenta Maeda and, like, Matt Shoemaker. I don't know. Just the offense has been so... Miguel Sano's injured, and he's been terrible when he's on the field. Jorge Polanco has been bad as well, and they have him hitting in the middle of the order, usually. Andrelton Simmons has been fine. His defense isn't what it used to. He's hitting decently well right now, and Josh Donaldson's been good. And obviously Byron Buxton has been like maybe the best player in the league, but outside of him and Nelson Cruz, they don't really have those impact bats that you need, right? Like the lineup that I thought would have a ton of depth just does not have the depth that I thought they would. So yeah, I have a hunch that Minnesota's been like getting pretty fucking unlucky, right? Like they're 8-15, but the names on like their lineup is so good on paper, and like really you look at their overall team numbers, you know, they're only 10th in run score, which isn't terrible, but like in terms of team average, they're 5th. Team OPS, they're 5th. In terms of team ERA, they're 12th, so that's pretty bad. But like starting ERA has been fine, right? Like Jose Barrios, Jay Happ, and Michael Pineda have all been good in their 4 or 5 starts. The bullpen has been the real issue, I think, right? The run differential I don't think is terrible as a team, but the bullpen's just blowing a bunch of games. They've also been getting like mega unlucky. They like lose a bunch of these extra inning games with this extra inning rule. I have to move the Twins out of A tier, no question. Probably out of B tier too, to be honest, because they're so far below 500. I wouldn't be that concerned about them. They're like we're a month into the season. I'm gonna put them below the Royals just because I think the Royals have a better enough record where I can't put them above the Royals. But I think the Twins are a better team than the Royals overall. They're just not right now. All right, the White Sox have also been kind of bleh. Actually, that's a lie. They're 14-10. That's solid. Yeah, Yermin Mercedes is just raking. And he's still doing it. After like the first week, I'd be like, all right, I've never heard of this dude. He's probably never going to show up in anything ever again, but he's been great. The whole offense has been solid, actually. Other than Yasmani Grandal, they're all hitting for an OPS plus over 100. Tim Anderson has been as great as you expect from now. You expect nowadays. Nick Madrigal has been good. Yohan Moncada has been good. Luis Roberts been hitting just as well as you hoped he would. He's hitting 300 with that great defense. Andrew Vaughn, I guess he's playing left field now. I didn't actually know that. But he's a 126 OPS plus in 15 games. Yeah, just the offense has been great. They're first in the AL in runs scored. The pitching is third. They're third in ERA. The starting staff, Lucas Giolito has been a little disappointing, but outside of him, they've all been pretty solid. I appreciate that, Connor. Thanks so much. Yeah, I'm happy with the White Sox so far. I'm keeping them in A tier. Yeah, I'll keep them right where they are in A tier for now. All right. I talked about Oakland already. Let's do Atlanta now. Let's see. The Atlanta Braves are 12-13. That's disappointing. They're in first place right now in the NL East, which is pretty funny. But yeah, outside of Ronald Acuna, and I guess Freddie Freeman's kind of picked it up in the last week or two, but outside of those two, just the offense is not performing super well. Outside of them, their best hitter has been Guillermo Heredia, which I would not have been able to predict. Marcell Ozuna has been super disappointing. Ozzy Albies has been fine, but nothing special. Travis d'Arnaud is like really regressing as well. Yeah, I don't know. I'm working on it. Okay, I didn't predict having this many teams in C, so I'm probably gonna end up moving the Royals up. But I don't know. I'm working on it. Everything's a work in progress for right now. Yeah, I'm definitely moving the Braves down. The question is how far down. I don't know. I'll put them at the bottom of B for now. I think a little below the Rays. I've been disappointed, but nothing like nothing you should be like too concerned about. I feel like, you know, we're only a month into the season. They've only played 25 games, and once Charlie Morton picks it up, he's gonna pick it up. I feel like Drew Smyly's gonna pick it up too. Even though he's pitching pretty badly right now. Ozuna will pick it up for sure. I don't know. Here, Adriana has been like good filling in the gaps as well, but I'm not concerned about the Braves, no question. Put them at the bottom of the B tier seems fine to me for now. All right, the Yankees are also getting moved down, unfortunately. They're 11-14, still at the bottom of their division. Garrett Cole's been great. Chad Green's been great too, I guess. I haven't really been paying that much attention to them. Yeah, the bullpen's been solid. Aroldis Chapman is 0 ERA. Chad Green has like a sub-1 ERA. Jonathan Loáisiga has been great. But outside of the bullpen, just the starting pitching staff does not have enough depth to compete right now, I feel like. Garrett Cole's been good, but outside of them, I mean, Corey Kluber and Jordan Montgomery aren't going to get it done for a contender in a 7-game series, you know? Yeah, Gary Sanchez isn't hitting. Cuff Frazier isn't hitting. Aaron Hicks isn't hitting. Gleyber Torres isn't hitting. You know, it's just all these guys just so far in the season just being disappointing. Giancarlo Stanton's been decent recently, but he started the season off super cold. Yeah, I'm not super high on the Yankees right now. I'm moving down into, I was about to say C, but that sounds kind of bad. I'm moving down into B. Put them right between the Rays and the Braves, I guess, for now. All right, and then we have San Diego and LA, who I started the season in S tier. I don't know. San Diego's 14-12 right now. I'm actually not as high on them as I was thinking I would be. And, you know, I watched every single game they played against the Dodgers, and I'm like, oh, this team is great. Like, they play with all this energy. They steal a bunch of bases. They play this old-school style of baseball. Their pitching is pretty solid overall. I mean, and then I caught a couple of their games, like, in their last series against Arizona, and, like, they kind of just look flat. I don't know. Like, they were super energized against LA. I don't see it that much against these in the other games they're playing. And they're 14-12, right? Like, they've beaten LA in the season series, but they're 14-12. I can move them out of A tier, to be honest, like, or out of S tier down to A. I feel like they just haven't shown enough to remain in S tier. Like, they don't have like one of the top tier records. Yeah, let's put them in. Let's put them right here below Oakland. I mean, so they're still third in the rankings right now, but I just don't see them as like an S tier team. I do see the Dodgers as an S tier team, even though they've had some recent struggles. They're 16-10. They spent most of the first month of the season like in the top, like far and away the best team in the league. The starting pitching has been just as good as advertised. You know, Trevor Bauer, Clayton Kershaw, and Walker Buehler are all dealing. Julio Urias has like a couple of insanely good starts. Dustin May's been good as well. The starting pitching has been far and away the strong point of the team. Probably the best rotation in the league overall. Hitting's been a little more disappointing. You know, Gavin Lux hasn't been hitting a ton. Mookie Betts has gotten a little cold recently. But like Justin Turner's been destroying the ball. Chris Taylor's been great. Corey Seager's been a little cold recently, but he started the season off super hot. Max Muncy's been good as well. It's just injuries kind of hurting guys. Injuries have been the issue. Cody Bellinger's on the IL for who knows how long. Zach McKinstry had like a solid major league debut, but he's injured as well. A lot of the depth pieces are kind of failing. Like Edwin Rios has been terrible. But he was kind of expected to slot into some of these utility style roles, but he's just not been very good. Matt Beatty was like so bad he got sent down, but they brought him back up recently. I don't know. I think the Dodgers are S tier. Like their offense has been solid overall, even though they've been slumping. The starting pitching staff's insane. I'm watching all their games. They're playing like kind of dead right now, but I think they're closer to what they showed at the start of the season than they're showing right now overall. So I'm gonna keep them S tier for now. All right, let's go from the bottom and kind of close these ranks because I have way too many C tier teams, not enough D tier teams. Yeah. So I think first thing we can do is definitely move Kansas City up to B. Where in B? I'm gonna keep them at the bottom with kind of San Francisco and Kansas City are the two teams that are performing really well. I guess Boston as well. So there's these three teams that have been performing really well so far that were not expected to be very good. And these three teams that were expected to be even better than B tier, but not very good. So which of these three do I see as being better going forward, considering the records they have right now? I would project that the Rays, Yankees, and Braves are going to be better than these three teams, even though they're worse right now, by the end of the season. But it's hard to say, right? Like the Braves and Rays are around 500. The Yankees are only 3 games below 500, so they're like 5-6 games back of these teams. But I do think the Rays and Yankees are probably about 5-6 games better by the end of the season than Boston, so I'm going to keep them above them for now. Atlanta, I'm a little more concerned about than the Rays and the Yankees, but yeah, well, let's just keep it like this. I think this is fair. Cluster the three similar teams together. Houston's been fine. Maybe I feel like I have to keep these three teams together, so are these 6 teams kind of in the same neighborhood, so I'll keep Houston above them just because they've been decent so far. What are they? They're 13-12, but I like their peripherals, I like their offense, so I'll keep them up here. Same with the Mets. They're below 500, but I still think they're definitely kind of the cream of that. The cream of the NL crop, along with Atlanta, San Diego, and LA. So I'll keep them up here. For the C tier teams, thinking about maybe moving the Phillies down. I feel like if I move the Phillies down, maybe the Reds down as well. This is like a better rank spread. It's like a better spread. I can move the Pirates up, and then we have like a nice little curve, I guess, going on. Trying to think if there's any like horrible exclusions right now. Let's see. I don't think any team looks super out of place. I can move the Blue Jays up. Right, the Blue Jays are only like 1 and 2 games below 500. The Blue Jays are 1 game below 500. Yeah, let's move the Blue Jays up here to the top of C. I I think Minnesota's better than Seattle going forward. They're probably better than Cleveland as well. St. Louis and Chicago have been disappointing. It can move. No, let's keep it like this. Should I move the Angels down to D? I don't think so. And the Angels have been fine, too. So many teams have just been fine, right? Like, we have a month into the season. There's fucking all these teams just like 1 or 2 games away from 500, so I'm not super concerned with that right now. I don't know why my category is gaming. I like set it to sports, but whatever. Let's see. Then we have, so, alright, so A tier right now is Oakland, San Diego, Chicago, and Milwaukee, which I'm okay with. I'm a big buyer on Milwaukee. I'm pretty high on them from what I've seen so far. We have LA and S. Yeah, honestly, this looks pretty fucking good to me. Like, I am not sad about this at all. The Orioles have been good enough to get out of F? Probably not, right? Same with Colorado, same with Texas, same with Detroit. Yeah, I'm happy with this. I don't know. Any questions? Any comments? I'm happy. All this is open for discussion, so let me know, boys and girls, maybe. I think the only thing I'm like a little concerned about is where like Houston is. I don't really think Houston's like a top 8 team, top 7 team in the league. Maybe I'll move Houston down to like here. I don't know. Yeah, I'll move Houston down. Yeah, I'll move the Mets down also. But, like, I feel like the Mets have shown more than the Yankees and Rays have. Yeah, I'll do it like this, I guess. Let's see. So if we're calling these power rankings, then we have LA, Oakland, San Diego, Chicago, Milwaukee as our top 5, and then the Mets, Rays, Yankees, Braves, Red Sox, Giants, Royals. Okay. So, again, this is why I'm saying these aren't power rankings, because obviously if this was going based strictly off how good these teams were in the last month, then, like, the Mets, Rays, Yankees, and Braves would not be near the top 10, but these 3 teams would be. So, like, if these were strictly power rankings, then I would move the Red Sox, Giants, and Royals above these 4 teams. But I think the Mets, Rays, Yankees, and Braves are better teams than these 3, even though these 3 have had the better month. So I'm gonna stick with this. I'm gonna stick to my guns on that one. Minnesota's in C. I'm fine with that. Seattle's in C as well. I don't know. Seattle's been good, but maybe not good enough to be like above the other teams in C. Maybe I'll move them down to a lower C tier. Yeah. Yeah, I'll move the Cubs below them also. Yeah, this seems fine. Actually, no. I'll move them back up. Yeah. Considering that the Cardinals and Cubs are being very similar right now. No, we have Toronto at the top of C. They've been okay, but a little disappointing. Yeah, I'm fine with this. Giants end up beating San Diego by June. I haven't seen them play each other yet. Right, they haven't played each other yet. So I'm not sure on that one, but they're definitely better right now overall. In terms of record and just in terms of pitching. I think pitching is the big thing that San Francisco has that San Diego doesn't quite, right? San Diego's starting pitching's been like a little banged up. Their bullpen's been a little disappointing. But San Francisco's pitching has just been destroying people, so that's like the big edge they have. But no question San Diego's offense is better though. Yeah, I'm okay with this. So yeah, I think I'm okay with calling it here. So F tier is Baltimore, Colorado, Texas, and Detroit. D tier is Philadelphia, Washington, Cincinnati, Miami, and Pittsburgh. C tier is Toronto, Minnesota, Seattle, Cleveland, St. Louis, Chicago, Arizona, and Anaheim. B tier is New York, Tampa Bay, New York, Atlanta, Boston, San Francisco, Kansas City, and Houston. A tier is Oakland, San Diego, Chicago, and Milwaukee, and S tier is the Dodgers. I'm pretty solid with that. Any closing remarks from anybody? Anybody want to tell me I'm an idiot one more time? Let's see. I'm just thinking if I want to move anybody else around a little bit more, because I feel like Philadelphia isn't so much worse than like say Chicago. Yeah, let's move Philadelphia back up into C, I guess. Even though it kind of messes with my nice little curve I had going on. Yeah, let's move Philadelphia back up into C. Washington, I'm a little less sure about. I might keep them in D, actually, but yeah. Alright, I think this is it. I think this is my final tier list. It's just so many B and C tier teams. There's so many teams that hover around 500, being, like, very random, but... Alright, there we go. Now I'm happy. I'm happy with this, you guys. Alright. Yeah, I think I'm good with this. How long have we been going for? It's been 45 minutes. That's a good amount of time, I feel like. I don't want to go too long. I don't know. Yeah, I'm good with this. I'm going to call it on here. Thanks for tuning into the stream, guys. I appreciate you guys watching. I'm going to cut this up a little bit into the YouTube video. Anybody I see dropping off or going higher next month, I see... I don't know. Minnesota's been so bad, and I think unlucky enough where they'll probably pick it back up next month. Toronto's kind of similar, but not to the extent that Minnesota is. I think Kansas City's probably going to fall off. I think San Francisco is to an extent as well, but they'll probably still be above 500 by the end of next month. So I could see a couple of these teams between B and C tier moving around. I could see like the Reds and Nationals like picking it up and moving up into C. I could see like the Angels or A's or Angels or fucking Diamondbacks or Cubs moving down into D, but I don't know. I'm pretty happy with how this one turned out. Yeah. So thanks guys for watching. If you're watching on YouTube, then make sure you're sub to the channel, guys. You know, you get a free Lamborghini when you click the subscribe button. So I need to make sure I look into the camera at least one time before the end of the stream because my fucking cat is covering my head. But yeah, thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Catch you guys in the next video. Should be coming out in a couple days, hopefully. It's about Brandon Woodruff, so that's a nice little preview for anybody that's just stayed around to the end of the stream. So the Brandon Woodruff video should be out hopefully on Sunday. I'm getting my last COVID shot tomorrow, so that might just like kill me and I won't be able to make videos for a couple days, so hopefully that doesn't happen. But yeah, hopefully by Sunday the Brandon Woodruff video will be out. Alright, thanks for watching, guys. See ya.